So this is one of those PC components that looks like it was designed to be both a performance tool and a flex at the same time. This is the ASUS ROG Ryuo IV SLC 360 ARGB, a 360mm all-in-one liquid CPU cooler. And yeah, it's clearly not trying to be subtle about anything. First impression, before we even talk about thermals or noise or performance, is just a design language. ASUS went all in on the premium gaming hardware aesthetic here. You got that sharp industrial finish, the ROG branding that lights up with full ARGB customization, and a display area that feels like it's doing more than just sitting there looking pretty. And that's kind of the theme with this cooler. It's not just a radiator with fans. It's trying to be part of your build identity. Installation is pretty standard if you built with a 360mm AIO before. The mounting hardware is familiar. Instructions are clear, and cable management is handled better than older generations of similar coolers. You still have the usual radiator bulk, because physics is physics, but ASUS does a good job making the setup feel less intimidating than it looks in the box. Now let's talk about the part that actually matters, cooling performance. Because on paper, a 360mm AIO already puts you in the high-performance category. You're expecting strong thermal headroom for high-end CPUs, especially if you're running something like a Ryzen 9 or an i9 that tend to spike under load. In sustained workloads, this cooler does exactly what you hope. Temperatures stay controlled, even under heavy multi-core stress tests, and it manages to keep boost clock stable without that constant thermal throttling dance you see on weaker cooling setups. But what stands out more is consistency. It's not just good in short bursts. It holds its ground over long sessions, whether you're gaming for hours, rendering video, or just pushing your system in productivity workloads that don't let up. Noise is another area where things get interesting. The fans ramp up when they need to, but ASUS has tuned this in a way where it doesn't constantly sound like your PC is preparing for takeoff. At balanced profiles, it stays surprisingly restrained for a 360mm setup, pushing this much thermal load. Now the ARGB system, this is where personal preference kicks in hard. If you're into clean, synchronized RGB ecosystems, this cooler integrates well. You can sync it with the rest of your ASUS ecosystem, match motherboard lighting, and fine-tune effects until your entire build looks like a cohesive setup instead of a collection of parts. And if you're not into RGB at all, you're probably already mentally turned this thing off. But the option is there, and it's done with enough control that it doesn't feel gimmicky. One thing worth noting is that this cooler definitely sits in the premium tier. You're not just paying for raw cooling performance. You're paying for design, software integration, display elements, and that polished ASUS ecosystem experience. So the real question becomes, is it actually worth it? If you're building a high-end PC where thermals matter and aesthetics are part of the goal, this fits right into that space. It's not chasing budget efficiency. It's chasing that top-tier build experience where everything feels intentional. But if your main goal is just raw cooling per dollar, there are simpler 360mm AIOs that will get you very close in performance without the extra design layer. This one is for people who want their cooling solution to actually feel like part of the build, not just something hidden inside it. And in that category, it does a really solid job of justifying itself. So yeah, the ASUS ROG Ryuo IV SLC 360 isn't just about keeping your CPU cool. It's about doing it in a way that looks intentional, controlled, and very high-end PC build energy. Anyway, if you're thinking about picking this up, I'll leave the link in the description so you can check the current pricing and details for yourself. And I'm curious, at this level of performance, do you care more about raw cooling numbers or how your setup actually looks while doing it?